Hey guys, we're back down in the planting room. I'll give you a quick update today on how all the plants are doing, and we're going to start some cauliflower today. We're going to do the second half of the tray. Last weekend we started the broccoli. This week we're going to start the cauliflower. They don't take too long to get rolling, but I've always had trouble getting cauliflower to work out in my garden. So I figure give it a little bit more of a head start as opposed to cabbages and kale, which I'll be starting next weekend. I figure bigger plants couldn't hurt. My success rate for cauliflower is none. I've never successfully harvested a head of cauliflower from my garden, but maybe this year is the year for cauliflower. We'll see. I do keep trying with cauliflower. I've been trying to eliminate veggies that just don't work in my climate, or just too much trouble for what they yield. Brussels sprouts, I had been doing them for 2 or 3 years, and again, they've just, for the amount of work they are, you start them really early. They take up a full bed for the entire year, well into September, and the yield has never been all that impressive. So I've cut those out. I cut out quite a few varieties of kale and other things that they're not great performers. But cauliflower, I stick with it, and I keep trying to find a variety that works, mainly because it's really good. It's a versatile vegetable and it tastes really good, and we use it. If we harvest it, we're definitely going to use it. And the second reason is it's super expensive. Where we are, a head of cauliflower is $4 or $5, sometimes even $6, and you can get them on sale sometimes, but they're really small and they're not all that impressive. So if I can somehow manage to get a head of cauliflower out of my garden, I'd be quite happy. So let's take a quick look and see how everything's doing. Now, it is quite difficult to see under these lights. I assure you, all these plants are bright green when you take them outside of the lights. I don't know if you've noticed last time when I was potting them up, but the plants really looked like they were close to dying. They always kind of look like that right after you transplant them, more so the tomatoes than the peppers. The tomatoes looked really rough, but they sprang right back to life, and everything is looking really good. The peppers are really putting on a lot of new growth now, so looking forward to hopefully a good harvest of peppers. Most of the tomatoes look quite healthy, not too leggy, so it's a pretty good indication that these lights are working well and they're providing enough light for the seedling. Kind of concerned about this guy in the back. Not sure what's happening with his leaves, but not much we can do about it, so we'll just we'll let him go, and hopefully he makes it until they're ready to be transplanted outside. On the bottom shelf, just the remainder of the peppers. The dill plants, they're not looking too great. I might transplant those into larger pots. If they put on a little bit more weight this week, I might transplant them in again into bigger pots. Everything seems to do a lot better as soon as they get they get out of the starter pots and into larger pots. The problem is you just don't have the room for so many plants in the larger in the bigger pots. I planted a bunch of Savoy cabbage. I found the package and I didn't realize that they had such a huge growing time. I think they're over 100 days. So I started those as soon as I found the package. We'll see what ends up happening. None of them have popped up yet, so hopefully they come up in time to go outside. And we have one habanero pepper. Gonna wait till he puts on a little bit more weight and then transplant him into a larger pot. So under the third set of lights, again, the onions are doing fine. Well, 2 of the trays of onions are doing fine. The front tray of onions is just kind of, well, we'll see. Whatever survives, survives. I'm not sure what happened there. Overwatering, underwatering, I'm never quite sure. The broccoli sprung up, looking quite good. Again, imperial broccoli, should have a good harvest of broccoli. And right here is where we're gonna do the cauliflower. So let's get that done. All right, here we go. Again, from Soak Seeds, Aquarius. It's a hybrid cauliflower. And we'll see what we get. This will be pretty quick. Trays are already full of soil from the last one. As quick as dropping the seeds in, covering them over, and giving them a blast of water. Alright, there we go, cauliflower planted, and the broccoli has been thinned out. More than enough broccoli plants to do a half bed, and hopefully we can say the same in a week for the cauliflower. Alright, that about does it for this week. I am really impressed with the amount of growth that those pepper plants have put on. This is probably the best set of pepper plants that I've had at this stage of the game. So really looking forward to the pepper harvest this year. I'm really hoping it's a good one. Now, in terms of timelines for us, we usually plant everything out in the first week of June, which means those plants have another 5 weeks in those pots. They're going to be a lot bigger by the time they go out. That being said, next weekend there'll be about 4 weeks till we plant them out. So I'm going to be starting most of my veggies next weekend. They can sit in pots for 4 weeks and not get the plants not get too big for the most part. So everything from cucumbers, melons, kale, you name it. If it's something I can start inside, I'm gonna plant it next weekend. So in terms of the raised beds outside, there is still a little bit of snow on the ground. The temperatures do still dip quite a bit below freezing at night. I was out in the garden just a little while ago. There's about an inch of loose topsoil, but after that it's still solid ice. So it'll be a while before we can get out there and turn the soil over and get some seeds in the ground. Typically, again, it's third weekend in May is when you can get out and put seeds in the ground, and then first week of June, you can put the plants out. But we are getting some warmer weather, so maybe we can bump that a little bit forward, that would be good. It's always nice to get seeds in the ground earlier. You can harvest everything earlier, and you've got nicer weather when you're cleaning things up at the end of the season. So until next weekend, I'll see you later.